In the small town of Esto, Florida, a 27-year-old mother named Amanda Lewis stood accused of an unthinkable crime, the murder of her own daughter, 7-year-old Adriana Hutto. The case captured national attention, not only for its shocking nature, but also because of a key witness, Amanda's own 6-year-old son, AJ.
What is this right here? Who is this, or what is this?
My mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
In August 2007, Amanda Lewis, a nursing assistant, returned home from her night shift around 8 a.m. Exhausted from her work, she settled on the couch while her children, Adriana and AJ, watched cartoons. Her 14-year-old stepson, Alan Michael, was still asleep upstairs. Amanda dozed off and woke up around noon. The children, eager to play outside before going shopping for school supplies, they asked for permission. Amanda agreed, allowing them to play while she prepared for their outing.
I told them that we couldn't get in the pool today because we were getting ready to go. So they wanted to go outside and play for a few minutes while I got everything ready.
After showering and doing some laundry, Amanda looked out the window. She saw AJ in a tree but couldn't find Adriana. Initially unconcerned, she asked AJ about his sister's whereabouts.
I went and took my shower, put some towels in the washing machine and some in the dryer. And then I walked to the front door and I couldn't see Andrew, and he was in the trees beside the house, climbing in them. And I asked him where Adriana was at, and he said she was playing at the pool. I said, well, go tell her to come in so we can get ready to go, and we'll go get your school stuff.
Moments later, Amanda noticed AJ leaning over the above-ground pool on a red toy wagon, seeming to reach for something in the water.
I went to the sliding glass door at the back and looked out, and I didn't see her. And when I looked at him, he was on the wagon, reaching over in the pool, raking at something. And I asked him what was he doing, and he said that Adriana was upside down in the pool, and she wasn't moving.
Amanda rushed to the backyard where she found Adriana floating face down in the pool. Without hesitation, she called 911.
911.
I need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
My daughter fell in the pool and she's not breathing.
Where at, ma'am?
In Esto.
Ma'am, what's your address?
3343 First Avenue South.
3343 First Avenue South.
Yes, down the road from the post office at the very end.
As Amanda attempted CPR on Adriana, the dispatcher put her on hold to relay information to emergency units. Nearly 90 seconds passed before the dispatcher returned to the line, during which time no instructions for life-saving measures were given.
Does she have a pulse, ma'am?
No, she's not got nothing. She is purple.
She don't. Hang on just a second.
Everything's purple.
Esto County Fire Chief Charles Corcoran arrived first on the scene, finding Amanda performing CPR on Adriana. The chief took over, briefly reviving Adriana's heartbeat before it faded again. Adriana was airlifted to Bay Medical Center, where doctors fought for over an hour to save her life. Tragically, at 5:05 p.m., young Adriana was pronounced dead. The initial scene suggested an accident. The toy wagon was positioned against the pool, with a child's bicycle nearby. These details were quickly documented by investigators. Fire Chief Corcoran theorized that Adriana might have climbed the pool wall using the wagon, fallen accidentally, and possibly struck her head on the wagon or bicycle before drowning. Bruising on her forehead seemed to support this theory. As the investigation moved forward, doctors and nurses at the hospital noticed something odd about Amanda's behavior. When Dr. Fox went to talk to Amanda in the waiting room, Amanda didn't ask much about her daughter. She just wanted to know where the vending machines were. Other people in the waiting room saw this too. They wondered why Amanda wasn't more upset. Dr. Fox, who was taking care of Adriana, was surprised by how calm Amanda seemed. When informed of her daughter's death, Amanda showed no visible emotion.
I try to inform them as gently as possible that there was nothing else left to do. We had done everything in our best efforts, and I was afraid that her daughter had died.
Okay. Now, you were the one that actually told her that her daughter had died. Is that correct?
I believe so. It actually was. It struck me odd because it was almost calming to me to look into her eyes, and she didn't really have much of a reaction, and it just was very flat.
Unemotional.
Just hours after Adriana's death, police interviewed Amanda at the hospital. She recounted the day's events, describing how she had allowed the children to play outside while she napped and prepared for their shopping trip. During the police interview, Amanda shared some information about Adriana's health. She told them that Adriana had been sick earlier that day, vomiting multiple times. She also mentioned Adriana's ADHD diagnosis and recent medication change.
Did they eat lunch or anything, or breakfast or any of that, or?
Well, when I got home this morning, Adriana said that she had thrown up, and there was some in her bed. There was a little throw up in her bed, and she had threw up one more time. And I asked her, was her stomach hurting? Last night we had some chili cheese hamburger helper, and I didn't know if maybe that made her sick. And she said she wasn't feeling good, but she didn't want anything to eat.
The detectives pressed Amanda about her attempts to resuscitate Adriana. Amanda claimed she had tried CPR, though she admitted she wasn't skilled at it. This statement contradicted Chief Corcoran's observation that Amanda wasn't performing any life-saving measures when he arrived.
I put her on the ground and tried to get the water to drain out and started doing CPR.
Did you realize that she had died before they even got there?
No, when they got there and EMT, the fire people was doing CPR, they had slightly got her back and they were going to airlift her to Panama City.
As the interview neared its end, a shocking thing came to light. Investigators disclosed that they were aware Adriana wasn't Amanda's first child to die under mysterious circumstances. Her firstborn, 16-month-old Alex, had reportedly died from a seizure disorder. While initially ruled accidental, Alex's death now raised suspicions. Meanwhile, a crucial witness came forward, 6-year-old AJ. While Adriana was being rushed to the hospital, Amanda Lewis's mother stepped onto the scene. She took temporary custody of AJ while Amanda headed to the hospital. AJ told something to his grandmother that left her shocked. During the drive to the grandparents' house, as they arrived home, AJ's grandmother wasted no time. She picked up the phone and dialed the sheriff, urgently reporting that AJ had just given a disturbing detail.
AJ, y'all made arrangements for AJ to go home with you and your husband at the time, Paul Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Later, when he got there with AJ, y'all had a conversation, and then where did you take AJ?
Back to the sheriff's department.
When the police asked AJ to explain what happened, his words were upsetting to hear. He described seeing his mother hold Adriana under the water. AJ said his sister was trying to get away, but couldn't.
My sister, Adriana.
And then what happened when she threw her in the pool?
She started holding her face. So Adriana started screaming, so I went, pow, 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 with my gun.
Okay.
So Mama said, stop it! So I didn't stop it, so Adriana screamed, AJ, call the police!
AJ told the police that his mother had hurt Adriana on purpose. He said that Amanda had put Adriana in the pool as a punishment. This was not an accident, according to AJ. AJ's story painted a different picture from Amanda's account. He claimed that Adriana had been in trouble for spraying something she shouldn't have, leading to their mother's anger.
My sister, she read me and sprayed something that made everything smell good, and she didn't do this. She done the stuff that she didn't supposed to, so my mama got mad at her, so she threw her in the pool.
The young boy's testimony raised serious questions about the events leading to Adriana's death. Investigators now faced the challenge of determining whether AJ's account was truthful or just a child's imagination. AJ provided details about their living situation, mentioning that he and Adriana shared a bedroom. He also said that they hadn't eaten breakfast or lunch that day.
You watched Boomerang? Did Adriana watch it with you?
She only watched it in the morning.
This morning? So she got up out of her bed and came in the living room? Did she
And
go?
she done it at night.
What did y'all have for breakfast?
We didn't have breakfast.
Did y'all have any cereal?
And for breakfast,
What did you have for lunch?
What'd you have today for lunch?
nothing.
What did Adriana have?
Nothing.
She didn't have no breakfast either?
Yes, sir.
She didn't have no lunch either?
AJ consistently maintained that his mother had dunked Adriana in the pool. He described a disturbing scene where Amanda allegedly held her hand over Adriana's face to prevent her from screaming.
Why did your mama have her hand on her face?
Because she was dunking him,
What was Adriana doing?
screaming, and she kept on getting dunked. And then I got out the tree because Mama told me to go get Adriana, and then I found her dead in the pool.
So she got dunked when we was there? Did she get dunked a long time ago? How many times did she get dunked?
4 times.
The young boy's account suggested that Adriana had been punished for misbehaving, possibly involving spraying Windex and playing with cabinets and beauty products. According to AJ, when Amanda found Adriana playing in the pool instead of scooping bugs as instructed, she allegedly held her daughter's face underwater repeatedly. Amanda remained unaware of these developments until her second interview with law enforcement on August 9, 2007. When confronted with AJ's allegations, she denied them.
I don't know how to put this, but he seems to believe that you drowned her.
Well, I don't know why he would think that. I mean, I wasn't even out there. I was in the house.
The detective informed Amanda that Adriana's autopsy would be completed the next day and expressed concern about the unexplained bruises on Adriana's face and forehead.
You know, it just don't look good. I talked to you about trying to explain the bruises, and we can't come up with a reasonable explanation as to why they're there.
I mean, I don't know why they're there. I mean, the only thing I can think of is either she hit the tablet container, or either she went completely to the bottom and hit her head, or she hit it on the wagon before she even went in the pool. That's the only explanations I have.
Okay.
Amanda disclosed that Child Protective Services had been regularly visiting her home due to concerns about the children's hygiene. She explained that these visits began after a school faculty member reported their concerns, though Amanda claimed it was a misunderstanding related to the children getting dirty while playing under gymnasium bleachers. Despite her explanation, Amanda admitted that the Department of Children and Families, DCF, conducted weekly visits, focusing on parenting discussions and methods of punishment. When asked about taking a polygraph test, Amanda agreed. She passed the test, though the results wouldn't be admissible in court. Despite this, police remained convinced of her involvement in Adriana's death. The autopsy report later confirmed drowning as the cause of death, ruling it a homicide. After about a month of investigation, Amanda Lewis was arrested and charged with aggravated child abuse and first-degree murder of Adriana. The trial began in February 2008, with prosecutors offering Amanda a plea deal of 10 years in prison for pleading guilty to manslaughter. Surprisingly, Amanda rejected the deal, maintaining her innocence. The trial brought to light Adriana's struggles, including bedwetting, ADHD, and various behavioral issues. The prosecution argued that Amanda's frustration with these problems reached a breaking point, leading to extreme punishment. They suggested that Amanda and Adriana had argued on the day of the incident, contrary to earlier accounts. The defense proposed alternative explanations for Adriana's injuries, suggesting the bruises could have come from fights between the children or from AJ hitting Adriana with his toy gun. They contended that Adriana's death was a tragic accident, emphasizing that she was trying to clean the pool and slipped in. At that moment, while she is on the telephone with her boyfriend, AJ comes running up to the house saying, Adriana is upside down in the pool. Of course, like every mother, she gets panicked. She runs out to the pool. She's still on the phone with her boyfriend, who hears what's happening. Amanda's boyfriend, Alan Carnley's, supported the claim that the Windex incident happened a week before Adriana's death. However, he wasn't present on the day of the incident. The only individuals on site were 6-year-old AJ Hutto, Amanda Lewis, and 14-year-old Alan Michael, who claimed he was inside the house showering at the time.
When's the first knowledge that you had that something had gone wrong with Adriana?
When I was in the shower and AJ came here and told me that she was dead.
During testimony, Amanda's mother disclosed that a week before Adriana's death, Amanda had informed her that she threw away most of the children's toys. This contradicted Amanda's initial statement to the police that she had locked the toys away in the shed as punishment. Upon investigation, the shed was found empty of children's toys.
Prosecutor Larry Bassford was immediately disturbed by the crime scene photos.
When you looked in AJ and Adriana's room, it was just barren. And then I got to looking, and everywhere I looked, I didn't see what I was looking for.
The courtroom atmosphere shifted dramatically when AJ took the stand. The defense immediately sought to highlight AJ's young age, arguing that he might struggle to distinguish truth from fiction.
Would you tell us your name?
Adriana Hutto.
How old are you?
7.
Did you have a birthday a few months ago?
Yes, so.
When was that?
November 22nd.
During his testimony, AJ was asked about his mother's presence in the courtroom. Initially, he stated that she wasn't there. The lead prosecutor, Bassford, then systematically pointed out various individuals in the courtroom, eventually directing AJ's attention to Amanda Lewis.
That woman sitting right there between them. Have you ever seen her before?
Yes, so.
Who is that?
My mother.
When AJ realized his mother was in the courtroom, it became too much for him. The little boy, now 7 years old, started to cry. Everyone in the courtroom could see how hard this was for him. It was a sad moment that showed just how difficult it is to have a child as a witness in such a serious case.
Tell me, AJ, what is this right here?
My pool.
Your pool?
Yes, so.
The one that was in this picture that we just saw a few minutes ago?
Yes, so.
All right. What is this right here?
A tree.
Were you playing in the tree or around a tree?
In the tree.
In the tree, okay.
So.
As the trial progressed, the difficulties arising from depending on the memory of a 7-year-old child became increasingly apparent. While AJ's recollection was more detailed than one might expect from a child, there were notable gaps and uncertainties in his story.
After this happened to your sister, what did your mama do?
I can't remember.
Could you hear Adriana when this was happening to her?
Yes, so.
When that was happening to her, you could hear her?
Yes, so.
What was she saying?
I can't remember.
All right.
Despite the emotional toll it took on young AJ, his testimony became a critical component of the trial. While AJ's narrative aligned with some aspects of his mother's account, it also introduced unique perspectives and observations.
And you said your mama did this. Who is your mama?
Amanda Lewis.
Okay.
The trial continued with disclosures from Amanda's co-workers, who painted a disturbing picture of her sentiments towards Adriana. They suggested that Amanda was often frustrated with her daughter, even admitting that AJ was her favorite child. The prosecutors built their case around these accounts, portraying Amanda as a mother who harbored resentment towards Adriana. A crucial moment in the trial occurred when Amanda testified during cross-examination. The prosecutor challenged her with accusations from colleagues who purportedly overheard Amanda confessing to thoughts of harming her daughter.
Now, was that in May of last year, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Toward the end of school term?
Yes, sir.
In that bedroom where she didn't have a light in the bedroom, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in fact, Adriana got a lot of spankings, didn't she?
No, sir, she didn't.
Confronted with these allegations, Amanda reluctantly admitted that there was some truth to these claims. This admission hung heavily in the courtroom, reinforcing the prosecution's argument that Amanda's relationship with Adriana was strained. As the trial explored Amanda's purported remarks about harming Adriana for using a marker on her car, tension heightened in the courtroom.
To get ready to go, and I had a black permanent marker in the console of my car, and she got that marker, and all through my car she wrote with permanent marker.
Just wrote all over the inside of the car?
Yes, sir.
That made you mad?
It did, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you lose your cool and beat her for doing that?
I didn't beat her, but yes, I did spank her.
Spanked her?
With conflicting testimonies and high emotional stakes, the jury faced the difficult decision of assessing Amanda Lewis's culpability. The prosecution emphasized the inconsistencies in Amanda's story and her apparent lack of emotion following Adriana's death. They pointed to AJ's testimony as crucial evidence, despite the challenges of relying on a young child's account. The defense, on the other hand, maintained that Adriana's death was a tragic accident and that AJ's testimony was unreliable due to his age and the potential influence of suggestive questioning. The jury deliberated for several hours before reaching a verdict. In a moment that would forever change the lives of the Lewis family, Amanda Lewis was found guilty of first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. The judge sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case sparked debate. Some thought Amanda was wrongly convicted, arguing AJ's testimony was influenced or manipulated. Questions arose about using a 7-year-old's testimony in court. Amanda appealed in 2010 but lost. She maintains her innocence. The community remains split. Amanda doesn't blame AJ, who was adopted and is now 23. He could choose to meet her again if he wishes.